welcome back to the lecture series of Computer-Aided Manufacturing. I am Neha Joshi, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Let's start with our sixth chapter, that is robot technology. In previous session, we covered different topics like what is sensors, features of different sensors, contact type sensors and non-contact type sensors. In today's session, we will cover different topics like degree of freedom of robot, classification of robots, basic configuration of robots, and SCARA robot. Now, first of all, what is degree of freedom? The degree of freedom in a mechanics context are specified defined modes in which a mechanical device or system can move. The number of degree of freedom is equal to the total number of independent displacement or aspect of motion. Some robots have a 6 degree of freedom. Now, degree of freedom of robot can be divided into two categories, that are degree of freedom of arm and degree of freedom of wrist. Now, degree of freedom of arm is further divided in three categories. First one is vertical traverse, second one is radial traverse, and third one is rotational traverse. Now, degree of freedom of wrist is further divided into three categories, wrist pitch, wrist yaw and wrist roll. So, total degree of freedom is 6, 3 of arm and 3 of the wrist. Now, here you can see how robotic having a 6 degree of freedom. First of all, we will discuss degree of freedom of arm. So first of all, what is vertical traverse? Vertical traverse is the upward or downward movement of the arm. Okay, so upward and downward movement of the arm is considered as a vertical traverse. Next one is radial traverse. Now, radial traverse is in and out movement of the arm along its axis. Okay. Third one is rotational traverse. Rotational traverse is the rotation of arm about the vertical axis. So these are the different degree of freedom of arm. Okay. Vertical traverse, radial traverse, and rotational traverse. Now we will discuss about the degree of freedom of the wrist. Now, what is wrist pitch? Wrist pitch is the up and down rotation or pitching of the wrist about the horizontal axis of the wrist. Next one is wrist yaw. Wrist yaw is the rotation of wrist in the horizontal plane about the vertical axis of the wrist. And last one is wrist roll. Wrist roll is the rotation or rolling motion of the wrist about its longitudinal axis. So these are the different kinds of degree of freedom of robotics, degree of freedom of arm and degree of freedom of wrist. Now, next one is classification of robots. Based on the technique used to control the motion of various axes of the robots are broadly classified into two categories. First one is non-servo control robots and second one is servo control robots. Now, servo control robots is further divided into two categories, point-to-point servo control robots and continuous path servo control robots. Now, what is non-servo control robots? In the non-servo control robots, the axis of robot remain in non-control motion from initial point till the end stop. The control of motion through sensors is only beginning and end of the motion. This is known, there is no monitoring of the motion at any intermediate points. In short, there is no feedback and the control system is open loop type control system. The programming involves setting the desired sequence of the motion of different axes in controller and adjusting the end stop for each axis accordingly. Non-servo control robots, which are also called limited sequence robots or endpoint robots, are the simplest type of robots which are used in pick and place type robots, is the example of non-servo control robots. Here you can see simple pick and place robot. which is non-servo control robots. Now we will discuss operating sequence for the servo control, non-servo control robots. First one is a programmer start calls the controller sequence to send on signal to the actuator of the manipulator. This causes the actuator to start, thereby initiating the motion of the linkages of the manipulator. The motion of the linkages continue till they come in the contact with the end stop. The limit switch located on the end stop send the signal to the controller or sequencer, which send off signal to the actuators. The controller or sequencer now index to the next step and send on signal to the actuators of the link of the manipulator. The process is repeated until all the steps in sequence are executed. Okay, so this is what about the non-servo control robots. Pick and place type robots are the example of non-servo control robots. Next one is servo control robots. In servo control robots, the axis of the robot remain in control motion, either linear or rotary from initial point till the end stop. The motion is monitored through the sensors and controlled all time from beginning till the end. The control system is closed loop type. The programming involves setting desired sequence of the motion of different axes of robot in controller. Then setting and controlling the axis motion, path, displacement, velocity, acceleration, etc. of the manipulator from beginning till the end. The actuator used in servo control robots are mainly AC or DC type servo motors. Now we will discuss different operating sequence for servo controlling robots. A typical operating sequence include at the beginning the information regarding the desired motion position is stored in the computer. The desired motion sequence is sent by the computer to the controller. The controller sends the signal to the actuators and sensor give feedback to the controller. The actual and desired motion positions are compared and error signal is formed. The error signal is used by the controller to control the operation of the actuators. Okay, and the error signal are modified continuously. Now, first type of servo control robots, as we earlier discussed, point-to-point servo control robot. Now, in point-to-point servo control robot, the end effector moves from one point to another point, and its work envelope along the straight line. The path of motion between the 2 points cannot be controlled. However, the velocity and acceleration of motion between the 2 points can be controlled. The point-to-point servo control robots have a high load carrying capacity and long reach. Such robots normally used in loading and unloading and material handling application. Now here you can see point-to-point servo control robots which are used in material handling. The next one is continuous path control servo control robot. Now in continuous path servo control robot, the end effector can be made to move along the predetermined continuous path of desired geometry. The motion along the path is continuously monitored and controlled. The continuously path servo control robots have a low load carrying capacity and narrow reach. Such robots are used for spray painting, arc welding, polishing and grinding. Here you can see how continuous path servo control robot used in spray painting. Now we will discuss about the various configuration of robot. There are generally 4 configuration used in robot. Okay, first one is Cartesian configuration, then cylindrical configuration, polar configuration, okay, and jointed arc configuration. First of all, we will discuss about the Cartesian configuration robot. Now, what is Cartesian configuration robots? Cartesian configuration robot provides 3 linear motion along 3 mutual perpendicular axes x, y, and z. However, there is no rotary motion. This configuration provides rectangular work envelope. As the linkages move, it provides rectangular work envelope. These kinds of robots are used for assembly, palletizing and machine tool loading. As you can see here, Cartesian configuration of the robot. Next is cylindrical configuration robot. Now in cylindrical configuration robot provides two linear and one rotary motion. This configuration provides cylindrical work envelope, has a good work area to floor area ratio. Cylindrical configuration robots are used for loading and unloading of machine tools. Now here you can see the diagram of cylindrical configuration robots which provide uh, different two linear motion and one rotary motions. Next one is polar configuration robots. Now polar configuration robots provide one linear and two rotary motion. This configuration provides spherical work envelope. This type of robots are used for sport welding and manipulation of the heavy loads. You can see here a diagram of polar configuration which provide one linear and two rotary motion. Now next one is jointed arm configuration robot. The jointed arm configuration robots have a robotic arm made of two pieces which are joined together by a turning pin. Now there are two types of jointed arm configuration robots. First one is revolute robot and second one is SCARA robot. Now what is revolute robots? Revolute robots provide three rotary motion about three mutual perpendicular axes. Its configuration is similar to the human arm and it consists of two straight links corresponding to the human forearm and upper arm connected by a rotary joint. This configuration provides spherical work envelope and has an excellent work area to floor area ratio. The revolute robot, which has a highly versatile configuration, is used for diverse tasks like spray painting, seam welding, sport welding, assembly. Now you can see here the diagram of and the configuration of revolute robots, which provides three rotary motion about the mutual perpendicular axis. Now next one is SCARA robot. Now SCARA robot provides one linear and two rotary motions. This configuration provides cylindrical work envelope. These robots are provided with high-speed drive motors. SCARA robots are substantial rigidity in vertical direction but has a compliance in the horizontal direction. This makes it suitable for assembly operation where it is expected to perform an insertion task. Okay, so you can see here the SCARA robot which have one linear and two rotary motion. Okay, so these are the what about the different configuration of robots and type of robots. Okay, thank you for watching this video.